Hello everyone. In today's video, we're going to be enjoying ourselves a nice, relaxing flight. I'm going to go ahead and give myself full throttle. We're sitting here, by the way, this is Wyndham Airport in East Central Connecticut. Like this airport, I've gotten to fly in and out of this airport a few times myself. It's always nice and easy to use. Usually it's pretty quiet. There's a couple glider guys every once in a while. They like to block the runway, with their little jets. I should say jets. Their little tow planes, and then you go for a landing, and it's like, oh, come on, get out of my way. I've got work to do here. I'm trying to put this plane down on the ground, and you guys are just being annoying and all these other kind of things. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're here to talk about one of the scariest failures, or one of the scariest little problems you're ever going to encounter in flight. So I'm just going to go ahead and get myself a little tiny bit of altitude here and go check my time real quick. Well, flight time is about 1 minute, which isn't too bad. Like I said, we're going to just kind of make our way up. So now, one of the interesting things with this particular failure is it's a pretty rare failure. When it does occur to you, it usually means something went critically wrong during the maintenance process, or you allowed something to get spectacularly hot. Now, that usually doesn't happen too often, but that isn't to say that it doesn't happen either. So it's one of those things you got to kind of think of. The big scary part with this particular failure, of course, is when it occurs in the front of the airplane. Usually we're pretty safe. We can cut off all fuel going to it. When it occurs in the wing of the plane, we're running the risk of exploding. So it's one of those things where I don't know which one's going to be worse kind of a thing as far as that goes. But I'm kind of a fan of not having it happen in the first place. But when it does, we're going to have to run through things very, very quickly, which is actually why I'm looking around right now and sort of planning my escape, so to speak, because when things go downhill, they're going to happen very, very quickly. Of course, the failure that I've been alluding to the entire time is going to be the engine fire. Now, the engine fire, like I said, it's a pretty darn rare, but when it does occur, it just sort of starts with a little tiny bit of smoke. You're like, what is that? You shut your electronics off real quick. You sit there. The smoke continues to get worse. Next thing you know, it starts flooding inside the cabin and all those other kind of things, and your life starts getting very, very miserable very, very fast. But again, it happens. It happens. All right. I'm going to bring myself over in this general direction. What was that? Whoa, no. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Oh, what happened? What happened? All right, immediately we're going to go ahead and get ourselves up to our glide speed. Okay, my engine just cut out. What is this? All right, we got to get ourselves 65 knots. Start looking for the closest thing that we can possibly find. All right, easy. No dramatic turns. There's a runway over there. Okay, we're going to start making our way through the runway. Okay, let's run ourselves through and see what's going on. I don't see any smoke. I don't see any fire, but we're going to treat it as if it is an engine fire regardless. So we're going to go ahead and pull out our mixture. We're going to go shut our fuel all the way to the off position, which means in this particular aircraft, there's this little handle that you'll boop and pull it out right there. We're going to go ahead and shut off all our electronics real quick. We're going to shut off our avionics master. We're also going to go ahead and shut off our magneto and kill everything absolutely 100%. Now, the reason we're doing all that is because if the source of the fire is electrical in nature, then, of course, by shutting all that stuff off, you're going to make it so it doesn't bother you. Of course, if it is fuel in nature, then we're going to run into a slightly different problem. So now we need to land as soon as practical. And remember, you have no flaps because you have no electricity. So when you do come in for a landing here, you've got to remember these things. Now, what I'm a little surprised about is I'm not seeing a lot of smoke and stuff coming out of the bottom, which might just be a function of the flight model. Now, I see myself a decent runway, and I also see myself a nice little highway there. I'm a bigger fan of the runway, to be honest, and I've got plenty of energy, but I'm coming in too fast. So I'm going to go ahead and put the plane into a nice little slip here. And we're just going to kind of come in sideways. I know you're not supposed to be landing on the threshold side, but this is an absolute 100% real emergency. And if I hang out in this airplane any longer than I have to, this thing could suddenly explode on me. And I really don't feel like exploding today, so I'm just going to put this thing down to the ground. Nice and gently. Remember, you still got to land the plane properly. And we're down just like that. Hold the brakes. Unlock the latch. By the way, you're supposed to unlatch this door before you do this. Unlatch the door. Get ready to run. Parking brake. Unlatch door and run. So in that particular case, the key takeaways there, yes, we would have popped out and we would have sprinted into those woods. And when we get right about here, we'd immediately dive on the ground. The reason we dive on the ground, of course, is should the plane explode, we don't want to be running and get hit by debris. We want to be underneath the debris. Then we can slowly crawl away until we can get ourselves a safe distance from the actual aircraft itself. So this is a pretty cool little demonstration. The key elements there is identify that something went wrong immediately, cut off all the stuff that could be the source of the combustion. Like I said, all electrical things. You want to cut off all fuel things as well. Immediately pitch for your ideal glide speed, which is about 60-65 in this plane, and pick a suitable place to land. We got pretty lucky today in that we got this one. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with the visual effects here, but I'll take what I can get. Other than that, enjoy.